2025, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Wilfred Ndidi. I think someone's playing a prank, or maybe not. Let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. Now, if you have not heard, Manchester United have been linked to two players in the summer transfer window so far. Leicester City's very own Wilfred Ndidi and Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Everton, who has been released. Now, spoiler alert, Manchester United need a midfielder and a striker. But is Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Ndidi really the way that Manchester United should be going? Now, just for some context for you guys, Wilfred Ndidi has a relegation clause as well in his contract at Leicester. I think it's around 9 million, but that has no reason as to why Manchester United should actually look to sign him just because he's available for 9 million. Now, if Man United were to sign someone else as their main starter and sign Wilfred Ndidi as another squad player, given the fact that they've lost Christian Eriksen, then that would make total sense for me. But Man United are in no place, in my opinion, right now to be signing role players, backup players, rotational players, because Manchester United's starting 11 needs to be revamped in the midfield and in the striker position. Now, you look at the striker market and actually what Manchester United could actually go out and get. And really, there's a lot of players available, high-quality players, but Manchester United don't have much to offer them. We've already seen Victor Gyökeres publicly make it known that his priority is joining Arsenal, and it looks like that is going to happen. Galatasaray are ready to pay Victor Osimhen what he wants financially, and they're also ready to pay what Napoli are asking for. Now, Hugo Ekitike, another name that has popped up for Manchester United, has a hefty transfer fee, but again, Manchester United are not really advancing anywhere there. Mateta was another player that Manchester United was interested in, and he's now set to sign a new contract at Crystal Palace. Now, you look at the players that are choosing to stay at their clubs, and you're looking at the players that have chose to leave and are going to other teams. These teams, unfortunately, Manchester United have nothing to offer in comparison to the others. Right now, you got Liam Delap, another striker that Man United were linked to, that chose the Chelsea project because it was more intriguing, and it was also reported that he chose that project because of guarantees surrounding Maresca's future versus the lack of guarantees surrounding Ruben Amorim's future at Manchester United. Now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin in 2025, if you had woken me up from a coma and I fell into that coma in 2019, that would make sense. That would make sense because I would think I'm still in 2019, but we're not in 2019. We are in 2025, and Manchester United have no business being linked to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, with saying that, we have to have reality check. We, me, you, every United fan, we need to be honest with ourselves about the quality and the caliber of players that Manchester United could possibly actually sign this window. I don't think this is the first of minimal type of players that we're going to be linked to in terms of the quality of these players. I think throughout the summer transfer window, United are continuously going to be linked to low table, low caliber, low ability type of players. Now, the biggest point that I've seen surrounding Dominic Calvert-Lewin to Manchester United is everybody saying he would be an upgrade on Rasmus Højlund. And I mean this with all due respect, guys. We should not use Rasmus Højlund as the benchmark for any player coming in. Actually, we should use him as what players shouldn't be. And I don't want to be too harsh on Rasmus Højlund because I know he struggled at Manchester United. Some of it is down to him, and some of it is definitely down to Manchester United for paying that price, for putting the weight of the world on his shoulders and not offering him space to grow and room to grow. But Manchester United need experience in that front line, and I say this all the time. There's one position that is not as forgiving in Man United's starting 11, and that's the striker position. You have to come in and hit the ground running immediately. You have to be clinical. You have to be good in front of goal. You have to be an out and out number 9 that can carry the weight and the burden on your shoulders. Can Dominic Calvert-Lewin do that? I don't know. Do I want to know? Not at all. I am not intrigued in the slightest at all to even imagine him in a Manchester United shirt. And I've seen some people say he's low risk, low reward, been released at or he's leaving Everton on a free, and he'll be available on a free if United can get him on low wages. But how can Man United go out and get him on low wages when they haven't even signed a starting striker? Shouldn't the priority be to forget sign a starting striker? Shouldn't the priority be for Manchester United to actually first and foremost go and get Bryan Mbeumo finished and then sign a starting number 9 and then look at signing backup players in that role? Man United, in my opinion, should not be looking or sniffing anywhere near a player of Dominic Calvert-Lewin's ability. And all due respect, I think Calvert-Lewin was a good player back in 2019 and back in 2020. It's been 5 years. He's not been in even a shadow of that player. Can he still play at high level? Yes. Could he go somewhere and be a third choice striker? Probably yes. Is he a starting striker for Manchester United? Absolutely not. This is not 2019. And also with saying that, he's unfortunately struggled with injuries. And as United fans, people have complained about Luke Shaw, people have complained about Mason Mount. Before, people used to complain about the likes of Anthony Martial when Paul Pogba, players who was out injured. Why would you want to sign a player that has missed double-digit games for the last 3 out of 4 seasons? And for out of those 4 seasons, 2 of those seasons, he missed more than 25 games consecutively. Why would you then want Man United to go and sign that striker who will probably spend a bit of time injured, and a lot of the injuries are hamstrings and muscle injuries, which we know as seeing people like Luke Shaw, you can struggle with those. I just cannot fathom the idea that anybody could be slightly intrigued of the possibility of United signing Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Not for me if United still haven't signed a priority number 9. And I actually think, guys, because this transfer window is unfolding quite slowly for Manchester United, with Chelsea, João Pedro was linked on a Monday, signed by Friday. Victor Gyökeres links this weekend. We'll probably get the deal finalised by the end of the week. Mohamed Kudus linked to Tottenham Hotspurs, and talks have begun for Tottenham Hotspurs. That deal could be done. A lot of teams in the Premier League are identifying areas of strengthening and addressing it straight away. And another point is that a lot of teams in the Premier League, and yes, we can't compete with them because these are teams competing for the title, competing for European football, etc. But they are signing players that are the best players in their position. Liverpool did that with Florian Wirtz. Arsenal are about to do that with Victor Gyökeres. He's been one of the best strikers in Europe this season. Florian Wirtz has been one of the best creators in Europe this season. Man City signing Reinders has been one of the top 5 midfielders, in my opinion, in Europe as well this season. Everyone is signing players who are one of the best in their position. And then you look at what United are being linked to, and this cannot be our reality. How the mighty have fallen. Honestly, how the mighty have fallen. And I feel like we are being made to accept that this is normal for Manchester United, and this is the new position that we find ourselves in. Manchester United, and Ineos in particular, brought into this narrative or sold this narrative for us to buy into, the best in class, the best in football, the football minds. And yet it's taken nearly 6 weeks to get Bryan Mbeumo done. Then you see the caliber of strikers that United are linked to, and the lack of midfielders, and even with the midfielders, the lack of quality in those midfielders that Manchester United are linked to. The reality is, and I'm trying my best to be positive, guys. You guys know I always try my best to be positive. But the reality is that Manchester United have fallen so far that maybe we should start accepting this as our reality. Maybe this is the time to be like, oh my God, you know what, guys? This is the new Manchester United, one that lines up with Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front, Wilfred Ndidi in the midfield. Absolutely not. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here.